Hi, my name is Michael.G and have another video, and now we're going back to discuss sacrifice. And this one we're going to start off with the first place where Jesus is talking about save his life, shall lose it, is the wrong sacrifice. So we're starting at Matthew 16:25. We will, again, we'll read the whole verse, but if you're looking at this, let me read the verse. It's better. For whoever may will to save his life. Remember, this is will. This is your choice now. Shall lose it, and whoever may lose his life for my sake shall find it. Now, Jesus is not talking about losing something like change, like falling out of your pocket. He's not talking about you jumping in front of bridges, jumping out of bridges or off bridges and out of windows. This is analogous. So, what does Jesus mean about lose your life and save? Okay, so let's go back a little further. If we go to 16:23, it's just when, or 22, Jesus is talking with Peter, but now Peter is saying, after Jesus said that he's going to be put to death and will rise on the third day, and having taken him aside, Peter began to rebuke him, saying, "Be kind to thyself, sir, this shall not be to thee." And he, having turned, Jesus said to Peter, "Get thee behind me, adversary. Thou art a stumbling block to me, for thou dost not mind the things of God, but the things of men." So, at this moment, we know that the adversary minds the things of men, not the things of God. We spoke before that when you're with God, you are now born from above. And we have two commandments being born from above. Love the Lord thy God with all thy might. And that's light, truth, the way, the light is the life of men. And the other is, love thy brother like thyself. That is the command for those that are of the light. So we have to testify of the light. And now Jesus goes into verse 24. Then Jesus said to his disciples, "If anyone doth will to come after me," okay, so will to come after me, "let him disown himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever may will to save his life shall lose it, and whoever may lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he may gain the whole world, but of his life suffer loss? Or what shall a man give as an exchange for his life? For the Son of Man is about to come in the glory of his Father with his messengers, and he will reward each according to his work." Notice this profited. For what is a man profited if he may gain the whole world? This is talking about lying. Because, you see, when you get to a certain point, like I had said in other videos, you have to make a sacrifice. What is the sacrifice that you will make for power and riches? If you're going to be making a sacrifice for power and riches, then you are now going to sacrifice the truth. And the truth is the hidden Alpha, God. You will sacrifice the truth and God so you can have your power and riches. For you to make that sacrifice for power and riches, you are looking to gain your life. So if you look to save your life, you are at this moment lying to save your life. You know who did that? Also, Peter. When the cock crowed, he denied Jesus thrice. He lied 3 times. He will deny me 3 times. And the cock crowed twice. He'll deny me 3 times. He denied knowing Jesus. He lied to save his life. Jesus brought him back in John when they have they have that conversation about lovest thou me more than these and feed my sheep. We're not going there. That's just going to bring us to a tangent. So, like Peter, if you look to save your life, if you deny Christ, you deny the truth, you deny the light, you're sacrificing, and you're going to have the power and riches of this world, minding the things of this world. You know, the meek shall inherit the earth. You've heard that before. Moses was meek. Meek doesn't mean like just some quiet little guy. Meek is a guy who's got the sword that doesn't draw it. That's meek. He's got the ability to wreak havoc, but doesn't. Okay? You gotta really see this. So let's go to another place where it has the parallel passage, or besides Matthew 16:25, we'll go to Mark. And he said, "Is this lawful?" No, Mark 8. Okay, let's read that. See if we have anything interesting there. We'll go back a bit. Get thee behind me, adversary. Same thing in Mark 8:33, and then we get to 34. Mind the things of God. All right, 30. Let me start again. And he, having turned and having looked on his disciple, rebuked Peter, saying, "Get behind me, adversary, because thou dost mind the things of God, because thou dost not mind the things of God, but the things of men." And having called near the multitude with the disciples, he said to them, Whoever doth will to come after me, let him disown himself, and take up his cross, and follow me. For whoever may will to save his life shall lose it, and whoever may lose his life for my sake and for the good news, truth, sake, shall save it. For what shall it profit a man if he may gain the whole world and forfeit his life? See, when you're in truth, you're going to have the light of life. You're not going to have life when you are in lies. And keep in mind, as someone lies, all right, this is like this can be the now. Always now, wherever you are is now. And this could be time. And this is space. When you lie, you are no longer in the now, standing on the ground, eyes looking forward. You are no longer in the now. You are going to go to the pit, or you're going to go to the inflated ego. That's why I had said in my last video regarding sacrifice, either you're going to try and take somebody's money when you're lying, or you're going to change their reality. But what happens is, when you are lying yourself, even though you might be making a little bit of money, or getting the power that you think you're getting, you are going to fall prey to being under delusion. And now we're going to just jump to one thing that will make a lot of sense now. Once you get it. Pray. We're going to go to the Lord's Prayer. And it's going to make more sense to you when you understand that when you're praying the Lord's Prayer, it's the prayer that brings us into truth and reality. those when thou mayest pray. Okay, let's read that together now, and you'll see a different, maybe an enhanced understanding. And when thou mayest pray, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites, because they love in the synagogues and in the corners of broad places, standing to pray, that they may be seen of men. Glory. They're looking for glory of men. Minding the things of men. Verily I say to you that they have their reward. But thou, when thou mayest pray, go into the chamber, and having shut thy door, pray to thy Father who in secret, and thy Father who is seeing in secret shall reward thee manifestly. Did you ever notice that when people have these videos, they make these long prayers sometimes before they start the videos? I say, why are they doing that? Didn't Jesus just say do it silent or secret? Just think about that for a second. Almost everybody that talks about God, talks about Jesus, talks about salvation, always starts out with these long prayers. Are they doing it for God, or are they doing it for themselves? But thou, when thou mayest pray, go into the chamber, and having shut thy door, pray to thy Father who in secret, and thy Father who is seeing in secret shall reward thee manifestly. Remember, truth is the hidden Alpha. And praying ye may not use vain repetitions like the nations, for they think that in their much speaking they shall be heard. Be ye not therefore like to them, for your Father doth know those things that ye have need of before your asking. Thus therefore pray ye, Our Father, who in the heavens, hallowed be thy name, or holy thy name. Thy reign come. What reign? The reign of truth and grace. That's what Jesus brought in. Thy will come to pass as in heaven, also on the earth. Our appointed bread give us today, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And here it comes, verse 13. And mayest thou not lead us to temptation, but deliver us from the evil, because thine is the reign and the power and the glory to the ages. Amen. You see, we are not going to have the power to fight without the power being from God. And we could be led into temptation. And once the desire of temptation, it is perfected in death. It's perfected. Desire, sin, once it takes hold of you, it's going to bring forth death. So, what do? We tell the truth. We live by truth. We live by light. And as we live by light and truth, our sacrifice is that what we do, or we're a choice between saving our skin on something, we have the power to say the truth instead of lying to save our skin. At first, you're going to think this is absolutely crazy. And when you implement this, if God gives you the power to implement this, your life will change. You're going to see reality like you've never seen before. Okay, so now let's go back to where we were. We'll go to that one. Okay, we were in... Okay, or what shall a man have? Okay, we're verse 837. Or what shall a man give as exchange for his life? For whosoever may be ashamed of me, ashamed of the truth, ashamed of Jesus, and of my words. Now, a lot of people think that when you're talking about Jesus, that it's just talking about Jesus all the time. It's not. For whoever may be ashamed of me, Jesus, and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation. Okay, again, I'm going to drive this point home. It's not only the name of Jesus, but his words. What did the voice from heaven, or the say on the Mount of Transfiguration with Peter, James, and John? Peter, James, and John. He said, My son, beloved, hear ye him. The voice from heaven. The voice that John the Baptist and the people that were at the Jordan River heard, my beloved son. The apostles hear differently. The three apostles heard, hear ye him. So, whomever shall be ashamed of me, Jesus, and of my words. I know I keep saying this a couple of times because it's the words that Jesus had spoken is the dominion. In this adulterous and sinful generation, the Son of Man also shall be ashamed of him when he may come in the glory of his Father with the holy messengers. And what's the next one? Starts out with 9:1. And he said to them, verily I say to you, there are certain of those standing here who may not taste of death until they see the reign of God having come in power. So the transfiguration happens right after the seek. Let me find it again. About to lose his life for my sake and for good news' sake. Transfiguration happens after this. Okay, let's look someplace else and see where we go with that. This thing. This is an old iPad. It's like a person with a remote control. You press it so many times. Okay, we'll do another one. Besides save life for my sake, you could also do for my sake. That's also very interesting. Places it finds us in the Bible, in the New Testament. Matthew. Happy whoever they reproach you and persecute. Okay, let's start there. Happy are ye whenever they may reproach you, Matthew 5:11, and persecute and may say any evil thing against you falsely. Okay, lies for my sake. Now, rejoice ye and behold, sake of what? Of Jesus and his words, the truth. When you start telling the truth, not talking only about Jesus, but speaking the truth, speaking his words, people will revile you. They will say all manner of things about you. For my sake, for testimony. Here, again. So Jesus is driving this home. Verse 10:18, Matthew. And before God, okay. And take heed of men. Now remember, it says that get behind the adversary because you mind the things of men. For they will give you up to sandrums, and in their synagogues they will scourge you. And before governors and kings ye shall be brought for my sake, for testimony to them and to the nations. And whenever they may deliver you up, be not anxious how or what ye may speak, for it shall be given to you in that hour what ye shall speak. For ye are not the speakers, but the Spirit of your Father that is speaking in you. Okay. When you have a plan, and when you have a plan and you say lies, again, it's for you to get to a better place that you think you see the future. A better future. That's why people lie. Or to get money in the present. They think that they're going to control reality and have a better future. When we speak truth, we have the faith, and in the faith, we already know that the future will be taken care of. We don't know how, but we trust in God's plan. And that's the difference between those telling the truth and those lying. Look what happened with Peter. Peter had tremendous fear, and he denied Jesus 3 times. And he's the first one that said that, I'll always stand by you. And that's when Jesus said, yeah, well, you'll deny me 3 times before the cock crowed twice. And he denied Jesus. He lied. He tried to control reality to save his life. He tried to save his life and control reality. Jesus forgave him later, but Jesus also told him how he was going to die upside down. He will be crucified upside down. That's, he wasn't off the hook fully. He wasn't off the hook. Just like John the Baptist, when he was in his Elijah self, he fled the queen who was going to cut his head off as Elijah, but as John the Baptist, his head was taken off, and he was even imprisoned to make sure he couldn't go nowhere, and his head came off. So people don't realize you can't mess with reality. And enabling, lying, saying things in subterfuge will come back and haunt you, and will create for yourself the ability to believe delusion. Like you're gonna believe the lie. Just look what's happening now in the news. They can't stop lying. They can't stop lying, and they're looking to make more profits, and that's more important than truth. So you sacrifice the truth so you can make profits. This is the world's business plan. Sacrifice the truth, you'll make profits. Okay, now let's go back to save thyself, find something else, or for my sake. We'll go back to Mark or Matthew. We'll see if there's another interesting. Okay, here's another place. This is all over the place. The same understanding. Let's go to Matthew 10. Okay, let's go to 35. For I came to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And the enemies of a man are those of his household. Keep in mind, when you're in family loves to manipulate you, loves to lie to you, to get you to do what they want. And then when you live this reality of lies, and then the truth comes out, you don't know what you lived. He who is loving father or mother above me, okay, so you love your father and mother above truth, is not worthy of me. And he who is loving son or daughter above me, now, son or daughter above me is not worthy of me. What do the mothers do today? They have this crazy compassion or enabling, and they allow the children to have this transgender agenda, and they don't stop them, or they promote it. They don't love truth above. They don't love the truth. So what happens is now they're going to give those children up to Molech. And whoever doth not receive his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. He who found his life shall lose it, and he who lost his life for my sake shall find it. He who is receiving you doth receive me, and he who is receiving me doth receive him who sent me. He who is receiving a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward, and he who is receiving a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. And whoever may give to drink to one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of the disciple, verily I sent unto you, he will not lose his reward. For us to save our lives, we have to lose it to truth. That means you're going to come upon things happening in your life, and you're going to be at that moment of truth where you're going to either try and save your life like Peter did and lied 3 times, denying the truth, denying Jesus, or you're going to sacrifice your life to uphold the truth. This is a really big deal, and it's all over the place. I mean, we've already found it in like 6 different places. Hear ye him. Jesus is saying this over and over again. He's pounding it into, everyone's head here. 16:25 we already read, and everyone who left house, bro. Okay, here again, 19:29. Matthew 19:21, and everyone who left houses or brothers or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or fields for my name's sake, 100-fold shall receive, and life age during shall inherit, and many first shall be last, and last first. You're in a relationship with someone, and then the truth comes out. What are you going to do? You have to hold up the truth and do not enable. When you're dealing with a psychopath, the worst thing you can do is feed their psychopathy, because that's the power over you. Because when you are dealing with a psychopath, what happens is the psychopath is the head, and you become the body, and you shrink your head downward, and this is the relationship that you have. They have teeth, and they're looking at you angry, and you are like the whipping post. And they are going to keep whipping you until you say no. You have to tell the truth. This relationship can last for decades. Later, when this person leaves this relationship, they think that they're the white bunny. The white, innocent, fluffy bunny. You are not the white bunny. I'm sorry to tell you. You are not the victim. You are the co-conspirator to the crime. In fact, this person even knows better. They know better, but they do this. They feed that psychopath so that they can control the head, give them a fake reality. If you do not feed this head monster, it will leave on its own. Or it'll try and torture you to get the food back from you, because you created this relationship with them. If you do not know how to say no, you will meet a psychopath. If you do not hold your boundaries and hold up the truth, then you will be continuously punished. And this is just how it is. This is just how it is. There's no way around this. You are looking to save your life by making the psychopath happy and swallowing the truth. So the truth now is for the rich ones, they merchandise the truth. For the ones that don't have a voice, that don't have a plan, they just get pummeled. There's more violence in this relationship than when you start going up the gravy train financially. Because if you start going up financially, then this person is more cunning. But when your head's pushed down, you're not as cunning. But this is the relationship that you're going to have for yourself. And you know what? It's both your fault. Don't forget this. Both the blind leadeth the blind. You look to save your life, you will lose it. You look to lose your life, you will save it. And what you have to lose it for? The truth. You have to have the truth as your life. Now we're going to go into sacrifice again some more. I would suggest you watch the other sacrifice video, which is just before the last one, and meditate on this and look for my sake in the Bible and save life. So if you have your Bible concordance or something, just do a search for my sake or save life. You can look for free in the Blue Letter Bible concordance online. I'll have a link. Concordance online. The Bible that I'm always reading from is YLT, and they also have King James that is key to Strong's, KJV, but YLT is a better translation. So God bless, and look up these phrases. You'll find even more